So, welcome to episode 3 of the World Is Yours podcast. This episode is about my business journey during COVID. Yes, that includes V1 of COVID and V2 of COVID shutdown, which has just happened. So, what was working, what didn't work, how I dealt with it, some new strategies that we're implementing to target sort of different markets, going through the ups and downs. Hope you enjoy the episode. If you're from Australia, then you know that, things have been getting weird. We're in lockdown V2. So as you can see, I'm not in the studio. I am at home, in our new home. As you can see, the background's different, everything's different. I'm on my home PC, so it's sort of makeshift at the moment. I got a lot of makeshift stuff all around me. As you can see, it sort of looks like we're gonna tell you a scary story with the lighting, but I haven't seen much of it online. I don't see many people sort of sharing the real side of running an actual business during COVID. I know, as you know, a lot of businesses are struggling, especially if they, have to work on premise. They deal with, face-to-face contact, and they're not technically an essential service. So from a creative, brand strategy studio, marketing agency sort of perspective, I just thought it'd be cool to share what I'm going through. I don't know, just in case you guys are dealing with the same stuff, and just share some things that have helped me and are currently helping me get through this process. Hopefully we're in the first week, so hopefully we've got another week to go, and if everything goes smoothly, the restrictions should ease. But who the fuck knows? Who knows what's going to happen? So basically, like the first lockdown, it was a bit weird. There was definitely a lot more unknowns, which made it a lot more scarier. No one knew what to expect. I had no clue what to expect. Thinking back now, I didn't think it would affect us as that much. We do everything digital. We worked from home back then. Like none of that was an issue for us. We could still do what we do best, just the same as any other day. So we're more worried about our clients, knowing that a lot of them were going to be affected. So we had a feeling that it was going to change the market dramatically. But then it was weird. Some of our bigger clients got real quiet, and some of the ones that were our mid-tier clients were busy as. They just had so much work, which was good for us, kept us in business, kept us going. It shifted. Everything just shifted, and we had a bit of help from the government, so it sort of kept us through. But I think that government help sort of was like an illusion in terms of what was to come. I think the bigger impact happened sort of after, for us anyway. It felt like after sort of everything was sort of settling, like restrictions lifted, everything was settling back to normal. It felt like it was, everything seemed to be going back to how it was. But I just felt like, I don't know, it was either what our services and the things we provided were, I just don't think we're as competitive in the market anymore. Just because of, the reduction of leads, and like there just it wasn't like how it was before. And, which, gets you worried when you're running your own business. That's a big problem. That's a very big problem. We started really feeling it, pretty much after the restrictions lifted, and it was like a delayed effect. And when everything just happens at the wrong time, it doesn't. It never happens when you want it to happen. It happens at the wrong time. And of course, at that time, me and my partner looking for a house, looking to, and I was looking for a new studio. I had everything lined up. Everything was all sweet, and we had to keep proceeding. So we did that. And I did find a place to work from that was out of home. One of my clients was just had a space available. They were a great fit, and I think it was just going to be a good idea. So that was all locked in. That was ready to go, and we proceeded with that. And during that time, the market just was different. It wasn't like how it was before, which is even more worrying when you start having more overhead and your own sort of studio and sort of more locked in sort of bills and stuff like a mortgage. It starts getting scary. But yeah, I guess that's why I've been trying to do a bit more research, looking at the market, seeing what's out there, seeing what's actually happening. Stuff I should have been doing, I think, sort of in hindsight, during the first COVID phase. I think the first COVID phase, I was just literally just focusing on completing the projects, getting money into the door, and just paying the bills. But you know, if I could go back and do it again, I'd probably spend more time investing in the new sort of strategies that we're sort of implementing now, which I sort of was doing, but you know, if things don't happen quick enough, you get over it and you move on to the next thing, or you keep doing what you did before, you know, to make money. So now we've been focusing more on productizing our services. So I started doing that, and you realize that coming from a service provider background, and you're creating your own products, it's not as easy as just creating the product. There's a lot of, you need to build the product around your consumer. And that's the biggest thing I've sort of tried to wrap my head around, working on some, like package solutions. Because when you start seeing what everyone else is doing, the whole purpose of productizing was to make the business more scalable. But still focus on the value, because what I've seen is a lot of the other like design studios and stuff that do productize their stuff, they do it in a way where it's still the deliverable. It's still your logo, your website, the things that you get. They're still doing it like that, where it's like, if you line everyone up in a row with the same type of package they have, they all look the same. They're all the same shit. At the end of the day, if the client's not, if it looks the same to the client, they'll pick the cheapest option. So I didn't want to go down that road. I know that's just wasn't going to work. So I decided to focus more on the value I can bring and the results I can bring to a client and try and package that. So I started doing that, but then still it's hard. Like, I think once I started getting more consumer feedback, asking businesses and friends I know that run businesses, what do they value? I think trying to figure out what do they value, and then from there building the product around that. So that's sort of what I've been doing at the moment, and hopefully we'll see the results and see what happens. Not only that, just trying to focus more on the... Oh, thank God, I thought I didn't record this. All right, it's all good. I literally thought I didn't press record on the microphone. So that's good. Focusing more on the brand strategy side of branding, and trying to stay away as being seen as just a designer. Because everything I was seeing online, and I've talked about this before in a previous video, but AI logos, AI design, like I honestly think that this is going to take over majority of the lower end design work. Like, that's honestly what I think. So in that DIY space where your Canvas and your AI make your own logo stuff, like that's going to be the norm. Like, people are just going to like start up businesses with no capital, with no money to invest in the business. They're just going to go to these free or cheap AI websites and get their logo done and figure the rest out later, figure the rest of their branding strategy later. So I really just wanted to stay away from that space, which sucks because I really love logo design. Like logo design, designing logos is like I love doing that. But you gotta be realistic. If I'm going to do that, then I'm competing with the Fivers, I'm competing with the Airtaskers, I'm competing with the 99 logos, and there's no way I compete in terms of price. There's no way. So I think focusing more on being the best in terms of giving an end-to-end brand strategy service is the way to go. And hopefully once I build that sort of service, or it's sort of like a productized service, from there I can, have I can build enough rapport with the client to win the deliverables. So all the logos, the websites, the app interface, the brand collateral, all that stuff, I can sort of be the guy to do it because we've already done the strategy side. We figured out the planning. We figured out their business goals. All right, cool. This is the plan. You get whoever designer you want, but you've already worked with us. We have that trust there. You've seen our work. Just go with us. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, I feel like, when you're stuck, you can't keep doing the same thing. You can't keep doing the same thing and expecting a different result. You just need to, like they say, you need to pivot. You need to do something different. And that takes time. I've pivoted. I've changed so many different times. So don't feel bad when you're like you just don't know where you fit yet. That takes time, and it takes being aware of what's going on in your market. What are your consumers saying? What do they want? And listening and hearing what's going on to make your decision, and just trust your gut. But yeah, so I don't know, you guys. You let me know what things are you sort of dealing with, what struggles you're having. If you're a freelance designer, you're a freelance creative, animator, videographer, just put them in the comments, and or maybe you found some ways to just kill it. Share them in the comments. Let people know what you're doing right, or what you need help with. Because there's a lot of other people in the same boat, and if we can share the information, why not? Let's hope everything goes back to some sort of normal. And I hope you enjoyed this episode of the podcast. Like I said, if you have any questions, you want to share something that you're doing that could help another creative, put them in the comments. Send them in our to info@blackbearcreative.com.au. I'll create some platforms as well so we can all share information and stuff. But yeah, I'll let you know. I'll let you know what's happening. So thanks again for watching. We'll see you guys in the next podcast.